You're listening to Community Connection here on KGMI. I'm Crystal King, and I have in studio with me today Ziad Youssef from mytrafficman.net. Welcome, Ziad.
Hi, Crystal.
So you have some pretty big news in regards to how much money was raised for a special little project you've been working on.
It seems like we went beyond my goal, and I didn't tell anybody what the goal was, but it was to raise $5,000 for the Whatcom County Library Foundation, and it appears we got to about $5,700 for the Whatcom County Library Foundation on the Slow Down and Read program. It was so exciting, and I'm so happy we had a chance to be a part of it.
Well, congratulations. What
Thank
have some of the reactions been?
Oh, they're so excited over there. They didn't realize that we had agreed to donate all of our proceeds from Whatcom County infractions to the Library Foundation. Jennifer, if you remember, was here, and she sent me a note saying, we've got about $1,700 in donations. It's so wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to be sending out the charitable donation forms out to your fans and customers. And I said, well, hey, you're going to have to make one for us too, because we're going to be sending over a check for $4,100 for the proceeds that we raised.
Yeah, and then she had to sit down, right?
It was great.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm happy we had a chance to work together. It's been a wonderful turnout. So I hope to do it again next year. And we're going to continue to offer a 15% discount throughout the year for any donor to the Whatcom County Library Foundation. So if you're one of those wonderful people who is supporting the Whatcom County Library Foundation, just let us know if you get a ticket, and we'll give you a 15% discount off our standard fee for a traffic infraction defense across the state. Doesn't have to be Whatcom County this time.
All right, let's talk about Deming Speedway, because somehow you're involved with that too.
I love the Deming Speedway. It is such a great family of people out there who love racing. And it's a short sprint car track. And we, about 3 years ago, had a chance to meet young Tristan Thomas. He was 12 years old, going around the track at like 70 to 80 miles an hour. And he gets out of this car, and I'm like, he doesn't even have a driver's license. He's shifting gears, and he's racing around the track, and he's doing really well. And his father's right there by his side, Jade Thomas at Thomas Racing. Mm-hmm. And so I had the opportunity to get involved with them and then to sponsor at the Deming Speedway. And they're just a great group of people. The fans that come out there are just so supportive. The contestants, the kids that are racing out there at all ages, they're so supportive of one another. I feel so good to be there. And it's one of those things where you're actually encouraging people to be responsible when they're driving fast. They're on the track, and there's strict rules out there. And we've been fortunate enough to be involved for the last couple of years. And Tristan took first place in the restricted class, 600 restricted class points this year. And I just want to say thank you to Tristan and to his father, Jade, and to his mom, who's always worried about him, and to the Deming Speedway, because it's been a great experience for us, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next year.
Now, it's the end of the year. We're wrapping things up. We're going to kind of do an overview of some of the 2013 laws that came in, but let's also talk about the fact that this is a time when there's a lot of law enforcement out there.
This is DUI Emphasis Patrol. Started right around Thanksgiving. It's going to go right past the new year. They are bringing in officers from Snohomish County, from Skagit County, from different areas just to enforce the emphasis patrols. So don't be surprised if you get pulled over from somebody in Whatcom County who's an officer in Marysville. And they're kind of rotating around to do the DUI emphasis patrols. And of course, this year in September, the DUI penalties increased. So a lot of people out there aren't aware of the fact that they could be required to install the ignition interlock device. At their first hearing, they could be ordered to start meeting with the probation department and to post bail. And these are requirements by the law to install these interlock devices, and sometimes even transdermal sensors if you want a chance at being free while your case is pending. And so there's some unique things going on there that I think people should get advice on before going to their first hearing.
People also, they just kind of need to know their rights.
They absolutely need to know their rights. And that's part of the reason that we've developed mytrafficman.net, so that they could get a source of information. We encourage people to visit the website, read the frequently asked questions, run through the You Should Know link on the mytrafficman.net website, and always feel free to give us a call at the office and ask for some free advice. We're willing to give give people a consultation on what's happening. And if they've got court coming up, we're willing to take the extra time to sit with them before they go into court.
So let's quickly go over some of the penalties that people need to know about right now.
They've increased the requirement if, for example, there's children in the car, and this is the holiday season. People are going to be out at Christmas parties. They're going to take their children with them. Sometimes you're going to have a glass of wine or a drink, and you're going to be heading home, but you probably didn't feel impaired. But it could very quickly put you in a situation where CPS gets involved because you get pulled over, investigated for a DUI, or it could put you in a situation where you're facing an additional year in jail just for making this lapse in judgment. So we want people to be careful. We want people to not take the risk. If they're making plans to go to holiday parties, that they should probably make plans to get back without driving if they're going to have a drink. I'm one of those that errs on the side of extreme caution just because it's very simple to be distracted for a slight second, looking down to see who called you or fiddling with your radio. If you swerve just a slight bit and you happen to have the odor of alcohol on your breath, you're facing a DUI investigation and things can get serious pretty quickly. So we want people to be safe and have a wonderful holiday season, but be careful. If you end up in that situation, really encourage you to call, regardless of what day it is. If it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, we're going to be there to answer those calls, and we're going to encourage people to call.
Because it's not really going to be the way to start the new year, is it?
Nobody wants to start it this way. Nobody wants to deal with it ever, and they don't think about just how much they have to deal with. Imagine being ordered by the court to install an ignition interlock device and meet with the probation department within 5 days to show proof that you got it done, or face being in jail while your case is pending.
Well, and many people lose their jobs because of it.
Having to call the next day is probably one of the toughest things. And it's important that I like to talk to my clients about what they should say to their employer. And the best thing they could say is that they've hired an attorney who's advised them not to say anything else about the case and who is going to contest the allegations on their behalf.
And what about marijuana laws?
Well, marijuana was legalized in Washington December 6, 2012, but it was really 2013 when we were experiencing all the new changes.
And that's still kind of mushy right now. We're not really sure how that is going to play out next year, especially if you're behind the wheel.
Yeah, even though it's legal, just like alcohol is, it's an intoxicant and can impair you. And so even if you're not at the 5 nanogram limit, which they've set in the new law, then you could still be accused of DUI for being affected by the intoxicant. Or if you're under 21, you're not allowed to have it. So any trace amount of marijuana could find you in a DUI situation. But if you find yourself investigated for a DUI, whether it be alcohol or marijuana, I can't say enough how important it is to make that call for some free advice.
Now, you have a special announcement.
If anyone remembers one of the previous episodes we did, I introduced my legal care team. I'm just so thrilled to have them be a part of mytrafficman.net that I got to this point where I decided that I want Bellingham office to become a flagship center for legal care in the Traffic Legal Care Center, so that people who are trying to get relicensed, people who don't understand what their ignition interlock device requirements are all about, people who have been injured in an auto accident and don't know how to apply for benefits through their car insurance, can come in and visit us and discuss things like, how do I get my license back? How do I get my medical bills paid for? I'm putting together a proposal or business model that would turn mytrafficman.net into a legal care center.
Again, we're talking to Ziad Youssef with mytrafficman.net. People can get a hold of you where?
Feel free to call us at 360-734-0908 or look us up online at www.mytrafficman.net.
Great. Thanks for being with us, Ziad.
Crystal, thank you.
And have a wonderful holiday.
You too.